There's this great line I came across that just perfectly sets the stage for what we're talking about today. Silence is golden, but electrons are priceless. I love that. It really gets at the quiet but massive shift that's completely reshaping how we travel.
And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi future stuff. That quiet power is already here. That number you're looking at, 18%. That's the global market share for new electric vehicles sold just last year in 2023. Think about that. Almost 1 out of every 5 new cars that hit the road was electric. So yeah, this silent revolution isn't coming. It's already here.
Which brings us to our first section, the silent revolution. We're going to explore how electric tourism went from this niche curiosity to a real, full-blown mainstream movement. How did we get here so fast?
Okay, check out this timeline. The speed of this whole thing is, well, it's just staggering. It took more than 100 years to go from the very first electric car breaking 100 kilometers per hour, that was way back in 1899, all the way to the mass-market Nissan Leaf in 2010. But then, whoosh, the whole thing just exploded. Just 13 years later, we're at that 18% mark, and forecasts say we'll hit 25%, a full quarter of all new cars sold by 2025. You just can't argue with that kind of momentum.
So, what's really fueling this incredible boom? Well, it pretty much boils down to 3 simple pillars: planet, pocket, and pleasure. Let's dive into what each of those really means for you.
This table really nails the why. First up, planet. Simple, right? EVs dramatically cut emissions with every single trip. Then, your pocket. The savings here are huge. We're talking electricity costing roughly 1/3 of what you'd pay for gas per mile. And that's not even counting any tax breaks. But then, there's pleasure. And seriously, if you've never driven an EV, this is a game changer. That instant acceleration, that instant torque they talk about, plus a cabin that's whisper quiet, it just totally transforms the whole road trip experience.
Let's zoom in on that environmental part for a second, because the difference is just wow. Look at this. A typical gas-powered car, it's spitting out around 165 grams of CO2 for every kilometer. An EV, even when you factor in how the electricity is made, is down around 50 grams. This isn't just a little bit better, it's a completely different ballgame for your travel footprint.
All right, but this transformation is so much bigger than just the car itself. We need to talk about the entire electric ecosystem. It's not just about what you drive, it's about the whole new network you're plugging into.
Think of it like 3 big gears that have to mesh perfectly to make this whole thing run smoothly. First, you've got the vehicles. And we're not just talking cars anymore. Think e-bikes, e-buses, even electric boats. Then you've got the infrastructure. This is that fast-growing web of charging stations, from the super-fast hubs on the highway to the chargers at your hotel. And the third gear, that's the services, all the stuff that pulls it together. The EV rental companies, the smart apps that plan your route, the tour guides running all-electric trips.
And this ecosystem isn't just a theory. It's already making travel amazing in some of the most gorgeous spots on Earth. Imagine this. You're gliding silently next to a fjord in Norway. Totally relaxed, because you know there's a charger just 50 kilometers down the road. Or you're zipping through Dutch tulip fields on a quiet e-bike. The Great American Road Trip? That's changing too. California's famous Pacific Coast Highway is now lined with superchargers. And this is happening everywhere. Look at Hainan in China. They're aiming to make all their rental cars electric by 2028.
Okay, but let's be real. No big change happens without a few hurdles. And for a lot of people, the biggest one is psychological. It's that journey from anxiety to, well, euphoria. So let's talk about those roadblocks and how we're getting past them on the road to adventure.
And here it is, the big one, range anxiety. If you've ever felt that little knot in your stomach, worrying about where the next charger is, you are definitely not alone. This number, 76%, shows just how many potential EV drivers are still spooked by that fear. But here's the good news. Technology is absolutely crushing that anxiety. We are right on the edge of things like solid-state batteries that could give you a 600-mile range and charge up in under 10 minutes. No joke. And right now, today, you have amazing apps that optimize your trip, planning your charging stops with incredible accuracy. We're even seeing things like solar-powered charging hubs and self-driving electric shuttles popping up in tourist spots. So that fear, it's quickly becoming a thing of the past. And
this chart really shows how that whole pit stop experience is changing. Yeah, standard level 2 charger, the kind you might have at home, that can take a few hours. But the public DC fast and ultra-fast chargers? That's a whole other story. You can get up to an 80% charge in the time it takes to grab a coffee and stretch your legs. We're talking 15 to 30 minutes. So charging is becoming a quick break, not some long, drawn-out wait.
All right, so the tech is here, it's getting better every day. So how do you actually do it? How do you plan that first all-electric road trip? Let's get super practical and walk through how to plan your electric escape. It really comes down to 4 pretty simple steps. First, choose your ride. Really think about where you're going. A ski trip in the cold, you'll want an EV that has a heat pump. It's way more efficient for heating the car, so it doesn't kill your battery range. Second, map the juice. Use those apps we talked about to plan your charging stops before you even leave. Third, pack smart. Bring a basic charging cord and any adapters you might need, because not all plugs are the same. And fourth, probably the most important, is good drive etiquette. Like once your car hits 80% charge, unplug and move. The charging speed slows way down after that point, so you're freeing up the stall for the next person. It keeps everybody happy and on the move.
When you boil it all down, this is about way more than just new tech. It's really a whole new way to think about exploring. It's about swapping that engine rumble for a quiet hum, trading gas station fumes for fresh air. And let's be honest, replacing that painful gas receipt with a smile. It's like you're joining this awesome, silent caravan.
And that really brings us to the big takeaway. The momentum is here. You can't deny it. The benefits for the planet, for your wallet, they're crystal clear. And the technology is wiping away those old fears faster than ever. The future of travel is, without a doubt, already here. It's all charged up and ready to go. So the only question left is, how are you going to answer the call? With a rumble or with a hum?